Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're going to be discussing a whole bunch of different things in this video in particular. We're going to talk about the the Vice President Harris give up. We're going to talk about what is Biden going to do anything. We're going to talk about Donald Trump and see if there's any energy there. We're also going to talk about okay, so my brain just lost itself for a second, so I'm just gonna stay there and then hopefully gain back. But anyway, I recently reached out to the contact the White House.gov, I think. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to comment and make a comment to the Vice President or to the President and you want to address your concern directly to the White House. I have wrote a letter telling him and urging him to open up a private investigation into what happened in 2024 and to just look at it. I made it in a very neutral tone. I'll give you an idea of what I said just so you have an idea on how to write yours. I also did tell him as well that to give him a little encouragement, but I do plan to announce my candidacy for his party. So let's see. Okay, so it's like, greeting Mr. President. I hope this letter finds you well during these trying times. As a psychic and tarot reader, I share predictions over the years, including insights into the 2020 election and the rise of extremism in America. My tarot reading indicates that the 2024 results could be contested, and the person declared the winner on election day may not be the one inaugurated. While I've indicated that the results could be contested, I acknowledge that this may not come to pass due to free will. Nonetheless, it is an issue of critical importance that warrant vigilant attention. This is a pivotal moment as Pluto returns in America's birth chart, signals profound change, potentially including civil unrest or the collapse of key institutions. The cards show that the 2024 election will be a decisive election. With the significant changes coming to our government and the direction we will take will depend heavily on who is in power. As a martyr who has supported the Democratic Party, I am planning to announce my run for U.S. Congress in 2025 to support your administration and help rebuild the nation. I strongly urge you to consider an independent investigation into the 2024 presidential election results. The integrity of the vote is not a partisan issue, it is the cornerstone of our democracy, and action could lead to irreversible damage. Mr. President, this is your moment to rise to meet this critical challenge and fulfill your purpose. Your election was meant to protect the nation, expose corruption, and safeguard our democracy. I strongly urge you to act now, for the future of our country depends on it. Your leadership will play a critical role in determining whether America remains resilient or faces serious challenges. Please seize this opportunity to fulfill your purpose and cement your place in history as the president who rose to meet the challenge when it mattered most. So that is what I sent to the president. That's a little bit of an idea of how you can draft your letter to the president or to the vice president on encouraging them to open up an investigation into the election and to see if they could find anything there, if there was any. So we're just going to go head on in and let's just see what happens, what comes up. Again, if you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, don't forget to engage with this content. I really appreciate all of you guys who are engaging, who have been strongly commenting. You know, I love you guys. I love you all your support that you have been giving us, to our community, to our channel. So I appreciate every single one of you. And let's just begin. I'm sure you've been waiting to watch this video, so I'm not going to waste your time. All right, so let's see. How do we want to do this, City Spirit? Okay. What deck would be the best deck to use? Are you sure about that? Okay. Alright, so they told me to use this deck, the Illuminati deck. This deck has been pretty clear in terms of its messaging. So we're just going to use this deck as well. It told me there's a message in here that we need to explore. So that is what we're going to do. Now this video is being recorded on December 6th. At 1:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably when you'll see this, you'll probably see it on a Saturday or a little later. I know a lot of you guys have been complaining or not complaining, but you guys have addressed your concern to me that the closed captions are a big issue. I myself completely understand that. I use closed captions as well. I need them to be able to hear. Well, I can hear, but if it's not as clear, I need it. So, trust me, I'm right there with you. I'm working hard to make sure that you have all closed captions. The reason why some of the videos in the past did not have it was because I waited 3 days for the closed caption to process. A lot of my readings are time sensitive, which means that needs to come out time and when I post them, but sometimes I can withhold them if needed. So that makes it very difficult, very hard to really discern whether or not it should come out or should it wait to process. 3 days is a little bit ridiculous on YouTube, and a lot of you guys have said that it's up to us to be able to make the closed captions. Listen, the longer the video, the harder it is to be able to use a software program that will create the closed captions. Normally, we depend very heavily on YouTube to give us those closed captions. So just hang tight with me. I'm working hard. I'm working and contacting Google Support Center. You yourself should contact Google Support. Let them know your concerns. Let them help us so that we can be able to reach them more clearly. It is very difficult now that they changed their customer support base to AI. So that makes it 10 times harder to even get somebody to help you. So I do apologize on my behalf and also on YouTube's behalf. Okay, so let's begin. So Spirit Angels, tell me, what is the message that you're trying to tell me right now regarding President Trump, or former President Trump, Vice President Harris, Joe Biden, President Biden, excuse me, and the United States and the 2024 presidential election? Is there anything that's going to be exposed, anything? What do we need to know? What's the story here? Okay, you have UFOs. Maybe I should start reading on that. I haven't read on that in a while. God, there's going to be a crash. That's for sure. I can tell you there's going to be a crash. My God is like telling me, like, I don't know, it just feels weird. Like, the energy's like, there's something wrong. Like, something's wrong. That's what, like, my God is telling me. Like, the reading here is there's something wrong. I am going to be starting to look at a lot of your comments in regards to name changes for the YouTube channel. So just make sure you're subscribed because I will be changing the name sometime soon. And thank you for those of you guys who have submitted an answer or a possible name idea. I appreciate all of you. They told me to flip the deck. Okay, that's way too many cards. But I guess I'll take them. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay. Is this the right order? Okay, they told me to keep going. Then we have feminist. Okay. Try to be very careful with the wires so I don't knock off the cards. Okay, so what accents, like, what do we need to know? The first card that came up was UFOs. UFOs. It says here in particular, Illuminati group may participate in 2 attacks per turn. The power is very strong on the UFO. And I kept seeing, I was thinking, I kept going back and forth, like, should I read on UFO? Should I not read on it? Should I not? That's what I've been going through a lot lately. I guess there's a confirmation for me that I will be doing a UFO reading. So if you want to, like, suggest some questions for that video, put that in the link below. I'm in the comment section below. Alright, so you have the UFOs here. So that is the center of the reading. Okay, I'm hearing fiction. It's the first word that came to me. Fiction. Okay, so they're telling me it's going to the past by the future. So it almost feels like to me like whatever is happening in the future, they go back and revisit the past. Because I'm seeing the UFO go into the future and zipped out back into the past. But what does this have to do with the election? I wonder if with Biden, Trump, Vice President Harris, and the election. It goes to the future, then it's just back to the past. Something changes. You know, I should do a video on the particle accelerator. We do have here a Murphy Law. Murphy Law, based on what we got in the previous reading, We're talking about how anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Everything has went right. Okay, that's why the Murphy card is reversed here. It's being followed by the recycler. From this group, draw an extra card on your turn. This is not an action. Okay, so recycler. Okay, so what is the card that can be drawn for this reading here? And this is the liberal card for recycler. What is the card? What card should be drawn for this? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. So we have Deep Agent. Okay, it says here, play this card after privilege has been invoked. The privilege is totally abolished. That attack cannot be made privilege. Okay, trying to understand what that means. Play this card after privilege has been invoked. The privilege is totally abolished. That attack cannot be made privilege. So, for example, if I were to I'm trying to make this understand for myself, but also for you. If, just say for example, play this card after white privilege has been invoked, the white privilege is totally abolished, that attack cannot be made. Okay, that's what it means. So it basically says that. Okay, it doesn't mean I have to do it with racism, but I'm just using that people commonly refer to white privilege, so that would probably be the easier way to understand that. It almost feels like an advantage that was being taken place in whatever was happening from the past and in the future that revisits the past, that advantage is completely wiped. So it almost feels like everything that went right for Trump, but the advantage that he has when everything went right will go completely wrong in the next section, which is why it's called Deep Agent. Right? Deep Agent is also a very blue card and is followed on top of the liberal card. We have intellectuals, weird and fanatic. Right? We have this person, and he's holding his drink in a very opposite direction, asking to be drugs. He's reversed, which means his drink comes first. Right? There's something to do with spills. We keep talking about spills here. I feel like there's going to be a spill, and it's going to be an Expos day. And I got this. I got one of the Expos day things in one of my psychic channels. I'll put those linked in the description below. But I kept getting spillage of some sort. There's some sort of spillage coming. Underneath the UFO card here, we have the American Auto Duel Association. Again, what is it with this red car? Because we have the violent and weird. So if you have not been watching some of my videos recently, I definitely recommend you do so. It keeps coming up with the red vehicle. And normally the red vehicle for me means that indicates Trump. Right? It indicates the Republican Party in the vehicle. Let me see if there is... Actually, you know what? We're going to use my dream interpretation. See if maybe they can give us a little bit more intel on why I keep seeing that. So I'm going to probably go to order... I don't know. Something with A. The word just left my brain, but do you know what I mean? Like auto body or whatever it's called. Automatic, not automatic. Okay, let's see. I'll just tell you in a second. Okay, where is that? Okay, now that's S. Has to do with you. So let's see. Auditorium, augmentation, authenticity, authority, auction attorney. Okay, automobile. I don't know if you know how I couldn't get that, but I did. Okay, so we have here automobile. The dream of riding a car implies that you'll be restless under pleasant conditions and will make change in your affairs. If a car breaks down, your enjoyment of pleasure will not be as great as you hope. We kept talking about faulty wiring. We kept talking about how there's going to be a car crash. We kept talking about, faulty cars. The car's not going as it's supposed to go. It says here, if a car breaks down, your enjoyment of pleasure will not be as great as you hoped. To find yourself escaping from a path of a car tells you to avoid a rival. To buy or sell a car heralds change in your finances that you must observe carefully. I just think the first one is the reading here. The dream of riding a car implies that you will be restless under pleasant condition and will make a change in your affairs. Then, I think this one also applies. If the car breaks down, your enjoyment of pleasure will not be as great as you hoped. That would be the connotation if Donald Trump does somehow manage to get into the White House, he will not have a good time in the White House. That's for sure. Let me see if I can find the color red. I feel like the color red here is very significant. It talked about sensuality, sexuality. It talked about grounding, which is why I wear a lot of red right now, because we all need grounding in what had took place on November 6th, which is actually ironically a month ago. Where is DR? Oh, you can tell I never really picked up a dictionary until this. Okay, so where's E? Okay, revolver, reward, rhinestone, no. I'm hearing the word resurrection and Republican, so I'll read that. Okay, what does resurrection mean? If you dream that you are resurrected from the dead, you will have some great vindication, but would eventually gain your desires. To see others resurrected denotes unfortunate troubles that would be lightened by the thoughtfulness of friends. To dream of being a Republican when you are not means you will be seeking advice from someone you never thought you would. Interesting. Interesting. That's all I gotta say is interesting. The color red. Who dream of the color or any article of the color red that stands out because it's red indicates great passion, sensitivity, in your emotional relationships. Honestly, I think a lot of his relationship with people are going to start burning up really fast. I really do. I do, yeah. Because we have here the next one, we have the network. Turn over 2 cards at the beginning of turn. I should have read this, but okay. So 2 cards. Interesting. We have Senate invest. Guys, okay, so if you guys been watching a lot of my videos recently, we kept talking about this. The network comes in, and it says here, turn over 2 cards at the beginning of turn, right? So whenever we start reading that is when it tells you to clarify, right? A network, an international network. The last 2 cards that came in was Robust Sea Monster. So if you guys have been watching some of my recent videos, I talked about how this card is indicating a Trojan horse within the computer system. That is right now it's very deep in the system and it has not been exposed because it's a brand new type of coding. However, when this comes to light, there will be a Senate investigating committee. This card has also come up in respect to the networking. Now, coming up with the card that says yuppies. Right? And I keep hearing the word guppies, like the guppies, the fish, the colorful fish. They have very nice fins and all that. That's what I'm getting here. But I'm also seeing, you guys watched that new Netflix show, The Monsters, the Menendez brothers. That's the vibe that it's giving me that somebody's going to take out someone because of an abuse. That's what it feels like. Because we have here underneath the Murphy Law, anything that can go wrong will not go wrong, right? That's why that's reversed. It's being also reversed by the loan shark, which means that the loan shark, somebody is loaning money into whatever happened so far in this category. There's money that's being funneled in that has not yet been revealed. Because, how do I know that? It says criminal and violence. That's right, criminal and violent, right? Everybody knows the shark is criminal and a violent creature when it's in contact of being a predator. Now, sharks are a very docile animal. I really will say that. They are like very similar to a dog, or they have a personality of an animal or a dog in particular, because they're very loyal, they're very loving, they're very cuddly. Yes, you're probably asking yourself, well, this guy's nuts because he thinks that sharks are like dogs. Well, retrospectively, they are wild dogs, right? But if you treat them with the same loving care, they will respond accordingly. Now, for example, if they see you as food, their brain switches into survival mode and they're going to attack you because that is what they've been programmed to do because that's evolution, right? That is what I'm saying here. Sharks in the natural nature and habitat, when they're not in the hungry frenzy mood or in the evolutionary trait of hunger, they are going to be very docile. The only ones that aren't docile are the bull sharks and I don't know what the other one is. But there's 2 sharks that are very aggressive. The other ones are very docile. And yes, great whites are very docile. Oftentimes they are mistaken to be great whites even though they are bull sharks. That is what it's saying here. That is why that card comes up. They're very docile, but when they are programmed, their program comes into effect, they are very aggressive. Right now, I don't know if that program is the key word to denote the sea monster, because we talked about the sea monster, and theoretically, the monster of the sea is sharks. right? So theoretically, you got to ask yourself, is this referring to a computer? Is this referring to the computer simulation that is being put forth here? Is that what it's referring to? To further note what's happening and the information that's being revealed, we have the IRS. And the IRS comes in as, again, criminal and government. Right? It says here, owning a player may tax each opponent $2 million on his own income phase. Tax may come from any group. If a player has no money, he owes no tax. Right? Donald Trump has not paid his taxes. And the reason why it's going to get revealed because Donald Trump almost feels like in a way he is broke, right? That's what it feels like for a very long time. I've said that on this channel. No surprise. But what is surprising, though, is that Donald Trump is taking money from the loan shark, which I feel like are two different groups. I feel like this is referring to both the computer simulation and the coding, but also to actual people as well who loaned money. Because he cannot deliver the money back with interest, this crap gets exposed. Right, in exchange for immunity on them. Right, underneath the UFO, the American Association auto duel with the car, which is moving forward ahead with the relationships and the sensuality and sexuality and the grounding of who you are as an individual. We have the video game here. It feels like a video game, right? You know, it feels like Grand Theft Auto. Right? You can commit as many crimes as possible and you can keep replaying the game. The game just continues. You can keep committing crimes as long as you don't get caught by the police, right? He said that there's a direct control of convenience stores. I wonder if the people who are loaning Trump's campaign are people who own stores, people who are in retail, people who own a certain percentage of the consumer market who needs to be able to prop up their margins by making sure that they can have bigger tax rates, be able to take in and rake in more profit, while also simultaneously controlling the voters, because the voters will vote based on how they feel the food is in the stores, right? That is the convenience stores. Underneath here, though, we have the Senate Investigation Committee, we have the code-in, we have the network, which is the network is the voting systems. Again, everything here is just for entertainment purposes only and for all life purposes only as well. We have market manipulation, right? We talked about in a lot of my readings a while back that we kept talking about how did Elon Musk and Polymarket know the Electoral College map weeks in advance, not to mention the day before, and not also to mention as well that Elon Musk knew the election results of each state 4 hours before the results has been counted. Okay? That's all I got to say to you for that. We have here as well as we have empty V, right? This woman coming out of the screen, and we have blank. Blank energy here. Blank information. It almost feels like to me, because of market manipulation, there's blank. There's something blank here. I don't know if there's some votes that's just been considered blank and be taken out of the computer system. It could be indicating as well that the evidence that showed that these votes might have been put in, but they actually had no real address. And underneath here, we have the Murphy Law reverse, followed by the loan shark reverse, being aided by the slush fund. Right? The slush fund, again, like I said, he owes money. He's been given money for his campaign, and therefore he's able to do the things that he was able to do, but he owes money to somebody. So Trump is brought out. Right? There's some sort of brought out individual. It's probably most likely Trump in his aspect. We have here, okay, that makes sense. It is because of China. Something to do with China. Treat this group as a government when they attempt to control a governmental group, right? In this aspect here, it looks like, because it's interesting, because what did it say here? ATM. I'm also seeing 7 a.m. for some reason, 7 a.m. But this is coming up again for the Chinese controlling a certain group. They're controlling a certain group here. But we have here the UFO, the American Association with the auto duel, with the video game controlling of the convenience stores, followed by the CIA. Undercover. There's somebody's undercover here from the CIA. And it has to do with a connection to these individuals. And they're documenting everything. Because while the investigation is ongoing, we have here to say that Texas reversed. Something's going on in Texas, and I think it has to do with the violent conservative government. right? That's what it says here. I'm getting drawn and pulled to Elon Musk because Elon Musk has moved his capital to Texas. And I wonder if there is a connection here with the slush fund to oil rigs. There's something to do with oil. Because it's being aided by here with the Yuppies card upright with the Menendez brothers with abuse. We have here MTV, which is talking about the blank votes or adding of votes. There's no direct line, there's no paper trail here. Well, there is a paper trail, but there's no paper trail for those votes. Then we have the tobacco liquor company reverse. Right, tobacco and liquor are very recession proof. They're always going to have a market for them until those people, unfortunately, quote unquote, die out or there's a lack of popularity. It's one or the other, but they're very recession proof otherwise. We have here for feminists on any attempt to control any liberal group. Let me see if there's a liberal group that comes up. What liberal group shows up for the feminist card? So to tell me use the right away card for this. What card comes up for the feminist group for any attempt to control any liberal group? Okay, that was too many cards. So we have here an end of a political dynasty, and it has to do with loss. The end of a political career, that's reversed, but there's a loss here. So Vice President Harris' career is not over, even despite the loss. The bottom of the deck here we have, she's going to have to fight. If she wants, she has to fight for it. But if she does, she'll be successful. She is plentiful. I think she'll be okay. If she actually fights for it, she'll be okay. So that is what we get for the overall portion of this video. Now we're going to kind of talk about, well, Trump, Vice President Harris, and Biden. And maybe the U.S. in general. But at least we kind of get an idea now what it's going to expose, the information, the story behind it all. I really like these decks and these cards. You let me know what you think. Again, I can read card games pretty well. I can even read Cards Against Humanity even. I do pretty well with that. Yeah, so if you want like proof that I can actually read with card games, I definitely can. Remember, all I'm reading is just based on intuition. I know nothing about the actual meaning of the card itself. I just read based on my gut and how my gut is feeling. I read on my clairaudience, my intuition, whatever my third eye shows me. That is literally how I read. So if you're ever curious on how I read, I don't read the way most people do. I read the way I want to read and the way that I feel like is best suited for me. And my guides are the ones who teach me how to read. So if you ever feel discouraged for yourself, read based on your liking. Don't read on how other people tell you to read. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so based on the explosion Spirits and Angels for Vice President Harris, what is her 3 cards that's going to come up for her this month for the explosion that's going to take place? Whether it's metaphorical, physical, how's Vice President Harris doing? What is her future looking like over the next 3 cards? Okay. Okay, they tell me to take the last card last. Does that mean after all the other cards have been picked out for people? Okay, so they tell me yes. So that's how this is going to go. Okay, so give me 3 cards for President Joe Biden for the explosion that's about to take place. Whether that's metaphorical or physical. Okay, they tell me to keep leaving the last card last, so I guess we'll do that. So again, Vice President Harris, President Trump, President Biden. What is the next 3 cards for President Trump, former President Trump, for about the explosion, whether it's physical or metaphorical? Okay, there's a lot of information regarding both Trump and Biden, so there's a lot of stuff going on here for both of them. What about the United States? How is the United States going to be doing over the next couple of, during the explosion that's going to take place, whether it's metaphorical or physical? How is the United States going to be doing? Again, everything in this video is alleged and for alleged purposes only, and for entertainment purposes only, and educational purposes only as well. All right. So, how's the United States dealing with the explosion? Or the explosion, yeah. Okay. Ooh, someone's gonna be in court. Okay. Okay, you're telling me this cards are the center of the reading. So, we'll see how how I read that. What about the United States? What's under this card? So tell me one card for the United States. That is the one card for the United States. So the United States, President Trump, Vice President Harris, President Biden, overall reading, the United States, and the Supreme Court. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. Let's see how all four of them are doing. So they're telling me to read this last. So we'll read this last here. For Vice President Harris, how is she dealing with the explosion? We have gift. Here's a gift here. Interesting. The next card is followed by imprisonment. Okay, this card has come up many times for Vice President Harris. You know, I should actually read in a separate video. She's going to be imprisoned. I wonder if Trump is going to try to imprison his political opponents. Like he's going to do what he didn't do to Hillary. I'm going to hold off on Vice President Harris for right now. Let me read on Trump. Okay, the first card that comes up for Trump, let me just make sure the audio is good. Okay, it is. Is we have here unexpected income. It's reverse, right? The explosion is a lack of wealth, a lack of security. We have here the next card that's being aided is courtship, a lack of security in relationships. We talked about that many times in this video and many other readings. This is my Trump card. So any further clarification for Trump, this is Trump himself. I think there's a lack of relationship with himself as well, and it's because of great fortune. I think, in a way, there's going to come a disparity that's going to come for former President Trump, because it feels like to me that his fortune is starting to change. His great fortune that he so heartily earned, and when I say earned, I mean that very sarcastically, but I'm saying that in retrospect and understanding that because of his great fortune, that time period in which he's experiencing is going to come to an end. That time is coming to an end. That's why the unexpected income card is showing up here. That explosion marks the end of his great fortune, which means that he's going to start getting his punishment after the unexpected income depletes. That's when it starts to turn on him. His fortune in his astrology chart and who he is as an individual, his energy and his persona, and the thing that he was able to get away with, all because of his divine path, right, and his astrological planets. That's going to change very soon. We have here the card that represents the United States, and that is the child card. And the child card is reversed here. So it's very interesting that the child comes up for the United States, but it feels like maturity, but a lack of going back to the way and the founding in which the United States was founded upon. It feels like there has been a rejection of truth, the rejection of honor, a rejection of the resemblance of who America is at its very core. America used to be this very beautiful young nation. That is what it's saying here. It's new. It's an experiment. It's the end of an experiment. But it's not the end. That's the thing. It's not the end. Because we have the rabbit here and the young female. Right? The woman, when she first started, was a very young child. Now she's grown up to be the Statue of Liberty. So if you have not watched my Statue of Liberty reading, go ahead. Now we understand why the Statue of Liberty was a psychic challenge that I received and had to do for you guys. I highly recommend you watch it. And there are some codings in there, so definitely think that that should be something that you should consider listening to, because the information in that reading is actually quite pronounced. So we'll give you that as well. I'm looking to see what rabbit means, because rabbit is interesting. And I'm also going to look as well at the year of the rabbit. So we have the rat here being directly crossed from the rabbit, and the rabbit's reversed. What does the rat mean? The dream of a rat suggests that you will be deceived and injured by your neighbors. Quarrel with companions are likely. To catch a rat means you will scorn the baseness of others and worthily outstrip your enemy. To kill a rat heals your victory in other contexts. So just to go back to the original meaning here, the dream of rats suggests that you will be deceived and injured by your neighbors. Which is exactly what happened, right? That's why the gift you were supposed to get became the imprisonment. So at least now we have the meeting here. Now let's take a look at the rabbit. With the rabbit here. Rabbit. I'm looking for the letter B here. Okay, here's the rabbit. Okay, so what does the rabbit mean? To see a rabbit in your dream signifies luck, magical power, and success. Alternatively, rabbits symbolize abundance. In general, rabbits foretell a favorable turn of events, and you will be pleased with your progression. To see white rabbits denotes a faithfulness, in love, to married and single. To see rabbits flocking about implies that children will be contributing to your joy. That is very interesting, but honestly, I feel like if anything, it means this line. To see a rabbit in your dream signifies luck, magical power, and success. Alternatively, rabbits symbolize abundance. In general, rabbits foretell a favorable turn of events, and you will be pleased with your progress. That is reverse. The information is reversed. It's also telling me here as well to visit the meaning of hare. So we are going to go to hare and see what the hare version means. Because it's light brown, which is normally what a hare rabbit looks like. So there might be information here. Okay, let's see. If you see a hare escaping in your dream, you will lose something valuable in a mysterious way. If you capture a hare, you will be the only victor in a contest. Which is why it's reversed. There's no victor here, right? If you make pets of hare, you will have an orderly but unintelligent companion. A dead hare betoken death to some friends. Existence will be a commonplace, prosaic affair. Yeah, I don't think hare has any meaning that has to go to it. I think rabbit is probably the more appropriate language to be used in this aspect. We do have here, though, above the United States, above the child card here, we have education, right? Education, right? And that is a card that indicates to me a Supreme Court. I think there's going to be some cases and challenges and even a possible investigation that will lead to Trump to losing great fortune. And I will say this again, and I have said this before in my reading. Back in 2021, I have said in one of my acquittal videos with Donald Trump whether or not he's going to be impeached, I said he's going to be impeached 4 times. He's going to get impeached 2 times when he's alive, 1 while he's almost on his way out, and the 4th one when he's completely gone. Because they want to set a precedent for what's to come to make sure that no president is above the law. Now, for President Biden, for President Biden, we have the pathway. We have a lot of butterflies here flying in the pathway, right? There's a lot of light shining in. That's why it's interesting, because we have the gift and the light here for Biden and Vice President Harris. But somehow it goes dark, which makes no sense to me. Because we have the message of concern. There's not a message of concern for President Biden. Because on his way, there's a journey that's about to be embarked. And because of that journey, it's going to be an embarkment of poverty. Right? And here lies the rat. The thing is, Biden needs to be able to find the rat, sniff the rat out before that individual goes in. Because once they are in, it's done. Right? That is why the rat shows up here. But that's a mouse. Believe it or not, that's a mouse, that's a rat. Now that I just realized that. There's a mouse and a rat. But what's here? What's in the background? There's a predator. Where there's the prey, there's a predator. Right? That's very interesting because it's telling me here that in the end, the journey to becoming the predator, not the rat. The question is, who will Biden be? Will he rat them out? Will he become the predator? Will Vice President Harris start hearing the little tweaky voices from the little mouse telling her what she needs to do? Right? The question is, what will Vice President Harris do? I'm going to look for the word mouse because for so long we've been thinking about, that being considered a rat, but in this aspect, it finally hit me that it's a mouse. I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't realize that before. But I think there's an underlying message here. So let's see what mouse means. Okay, let's see. Okay. Mouse. Mouse. Where is the mouse? Wait, was that the mouse? No, it's the monk. Wow, there's a lot of words with O's. Okay. Let's see, where's the mouse? If there's no mouse, then we won't read on it. Okay, there's the mouse. Okay, perfect. To dream of a mice foretells domestic troubles and insecurity of friends. Business affairs will assume a discouraging tone. To kill mice suggests that you will conquer your enemies. To let them escape is a significance of doubtful struggle. If you dream of a single mouse, you will need to be aware of someone whom you dislike, who will stab you in the back or spread ugly rumors about you. That's interesting because that comes up to Vice President Harris, not for Biden. Okay, what is the overall message of the specific reading? Lovers. Right, we have the white doves here, which is all about purity, coming together, unison, unity, even in the face of darkness and despair. What is the statue? We kept talking about liberty, the statue of liberty today. Well, the statue in this aspect is telling me that you can move. You can move. In this aspect, it's just saying that even though a statue is stagnant and it is stuck in its place, it's saying you can move off your platform. That is what it's saying here. We have the main female. Right, that would be Vice President Harris and the official person. She's not the official person yet. What's the bottom of the card? We have here high honor, which makes sense because she's not in the high honor. She's not in the occupation either. So until then, she has to do the work. She needs to be able to listen to the little voices. And Biden needs to do the work as well. He needs to choose whether or not he's going to be a predator or he's going to be the prey. That is something that Biden has to choose. And whether or not he does it, well, that's a whole other thing. But if you guys want to reach out and be able to talk to Vice President Harris or President Biden, go to the comment section below or in the description. I will put a link there where you can write a letter to Vice President Harris or to President Biden. All right. So now that we established that, let's see about the explosion, because we kept getting the explosion, something being exposed, known as the Expos Day, is what the word that they chose to use. So that is what we're going to read on. I'm hearing read with the mask on. That's what I'm hearing, read with the mask on. Don't know what that means, but I keep hearing read with the mask on. So we're going to use this deck. This is my first ever tarot deck. Deviant Moon Tarot, Borderless Edition. Spiritual angels tell me, what does it mean when you say read with the mask on? Why is that important for this election? Why is it important for this reading when we refer to something being exposed? Read with your mask on. They're telling me there's an encoded message in that wording that cannot be exposed at this time, but for when we do, we'll know. Okay, so tell me more about this explosion. Is there going to be any explosion, if any at all? They're telling me this is the wrong deck. Because apparently if I hold it in and doing what I'm doing with the cards, they're telling me that I got the message from the cards, so I don't need to read it. Because it's going to give me the same answer. Okay, is this the one you want? Okay, they want this one. My other homemade tarot deck. Okay. Spiritual Angel Tommy. Is something going to be exposed about the United States presidential election or anything, if anything? What is going to be exposed? Because I keep seeing explosion. The president who is elected on election day is not the one who becomes president. And for those of you guys who think this has to do with conspiracy, it's definitely not part of any conspiracy, because I said this before I even knew Trump was going to win. I kept saying Vice President Harris. I would have done the same for President Trump if Vice President was going to win. But she wasn't supposed to, because Well, we have to go through this turmoil first. Okay, Spirit Angels tell me. Okay, they're telling me to go like this and to pick the first 3 cards that come to me. Don't even think about it. Okay. First time I've ever done that. Getting 3 cards here. So tell me to take the card that's popped out. Okay. Alright. Never done a reading like this before. Well, I did, but not with this specific deck. I made this tarot deck, by the way. Oh, look. She's on the bottom. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so these are the 3 cards that I picked. No, actually, these are the 3 cards I picked. These are for the clarifier cards. Okay, so the way these cards work is when they are reversed, we flip the card for the other meaning. For other wording. Okay, so we have Unsolved Mysteries upright. Okay, this card is also reversed. So what is that card? That is Nuclear War. We have Police. We have Witch Trials, or some sort of trial. Then we have the Margins. Interesting. Okay, so we have Atlantis, right? It said Middle Earth map. The Bermuda Triangle, Unsolved Mysteries, Egypt, Atlantis, and dinosaurs. We have the Egypt card, but I didn't bring it with me. Alright. Okay, they're telling me to go get it, so just hang on tight. I'll be right back. I got told to bring this deck as well. Excuse me. So I got told to bring that deck as well for you guys. So, yeah. So we'll be doing a little reading at the end for you guys as well. We'll be using that card. And then we have the Egyptian Tarot Miniature Arcana deck for you guys. If I can actually open it. Oh, it's encoded. Okay. Whew. I am hungry. Anyway, I'll probably be eating after this. Nicole, can you tell Sammy? Doesn't matter. Okay, so because we have Egypt here with Unsolved Mysteries, let's take a look and find out what is being said here with Unsolved Mysteries. What is being referred to in the Egypt card? Why does Egypt come up for this? When we refer to it as something going to be exposed. They told me to flip it this way. What is going to be exposed? Give me one card. Give me one card. These cards are way too big. I actually had a giant tarot card that we can actually use. Okay, so we have the Hangman, followed by the Tower card. And he told me to take this card last. That's going to be the clarifier. Okay, interesting. So we have the Atlantis card here with the Egypt, followed by Nuclear War. Which is the end, an eradication of something, right? When a bomb goes off, there's an end of something, right? It's radiation, right? Something is being radiated. Something gets exposed, or something gets eliminated. Something gets cleared out. We have police, right? So I wonder if there is a motion to try to clear out information regarding documents There's a clearing out of documents or something. We have the witch trials here. Unbiased court trials, salem false accusations, executional death penalty, black and white magic. We kept talking about magic in this specific reading. Keep coming up. We have a woman burning at the stake with a wish flying on the broom. If you had not watched my wiki video, my psychic challenge for that, I definitely think you should. I'll put that in the link below as well. Which trial? I keep feeling there's going to be a court case that's going to come up, or some sort of investigation, but it's going to be an accusation. But then there's also going to be truth behind the accusation. And then we have, well, could this flip, right, with disability rights? We have 370 to 460 EV, 306 to 430 sheets, 61 to 39 stand-in, and then you flip that here, 0 to 13 electoral votes, 180 to 250 seats, 61, 37, 2 stand-in. Sounds like a barcode, really. It sounds like a barcode. Back what could be. It could be telling me here there's barcodes here. I wonder if there's clearance information that gets leaked or gets cleared out. Oh, that's what this is. So the unsolved mystery is documents that are highly classified that is wiped out. I almost feel like potentially it cleared out. I'm seeing somebody go in and taking all the documents, and then something happened to those documents and they're just missing. It's almost like an espionage act. Because we have the hangman reverse, right? The cow, which is a stake or cow, but it's reverse. The hangman reverse, followed by the tower card, right? The fall of the pharaoh, right? We have the pharaoh here, that's the pharaoh, that's the leader. There's a striking the pyramid, the gold symbol, the gold triangle on the top. Being aided by the death card, transformation, rebirth, renewal. Beyond the veil. I feel like there might be a motion to bring forth something into this world that is not supposed to be here. And it has to do with magic. And it has to do with information that's been found when it comes to highly classified intel for the government. And it's going to be used. Or at least they're going to try to use it and attempt to use it. I wonder if it could also be UFO. It could be like foreign technology, something that we're not yet exposed to. The Espionage Act. Is this referring to the Espionage Act? That was going to be exposed. Yeah. So we have Temperance card here, bringing forth balance and understanding. I think it's going to be happening to one of the rays, or a raid that did happen and had to do with all this information clearing out. We have here foreign intel, foreign players. My foreign policy is reversed, which tells me that they're Temperance, taking back intel or confirmation from what has been leaked. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. However, there's one document withhold that they need to find. And that's the most important document. And it literally says, and I quote, it's like that yellow book, How to Rig an Election for Dummies. That's literally what it says. But it's a highly classified book or document. Again, everything in this video is just for life purposes only, and for entertainment purposes only as well. Final card. We have here Four of Pentacles reverse. Okay. They're not going to be able to hold on to the truth or hold on to the information that they found. It's going to have to get leaked. But it's the 10 of Wands here, which they're going to try to get away with it, but they're not going to. And the United States doesn't get betrayed. I think they're going to be able to take back some of those information. I think they're going to be able to get it back. So it feels like, to me, it's more like an espionage game at this point. Oh, look, we had this bribery. So being paid. So you have to find paper trails to be able to get this highly classified, confidential information back. Spirit Angel, tell me any final notes for what's going to be exposed. Blank, blank. It's not telling me. And we have here the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle card came up as well. So if that's not confirmation already, I don't know what to tell you, but that is confirmation. There's blank information. We will have to find out and see what this highly classified information is and in regard to the Espionage Act. Let's see. This is the bottom of the deck. The phone company. We have here orbital mind control lasers. I think this has to do with education, something to do with education here. And it has to do with parent-teacher augmentation. Teaching people a certain, programming them to be a certain way, to think a certain way, to act a certain way. Underground newspaper. I talked about networking, right? Talked about underground network. This is information that's being handed out, being given out. Right? We have multinational oil company. We kept talking about oil being a major factor early in this video. It's coming in now in this video. And we do have here Goldfish Fancier. They're thinking people are dumb. They really do. And the final card is convenience stores. I think it's a lot bigger than we all think, and it's going to take a while. I don't know if it's going to get exposed. I'm getting information it's not, but it might be in some time. They're going to escape, though, the same way the Nazis did. They're going to escape to another country to escape persecution because they were guilty. So, that is the reading. That is the espionage. I'm going to have to read separately on an individual reading and see if there is truth behind the explosion being the espionage. Something's being espionage. Something regarding the way the United States works and the way it functions its electoral systems. Something has been altered. Something has been changed. Oh, look at the top of the deck. I didn't realize. Look. Election fraud. What did it say? No fraud. It's reverse. It's supposed to be on top. It's reverse. That's not confirmation. I don't know what it is. And on the bottom is her. So, you can't make this up now, can you? Oh, look what just came up. American ideology. The first card that comes up upright is democracy. So, we will see. We will find out very soon enough what the information is. I don't even know if it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out in an investigation. That's when the information gets exposed. But I'm not so confident it's going to come out prior. I think it has to be under proper investigation because if it really involves confidential classified intel and it's not something that we ever in the public know about or even experienced before, that can cause some really big problems into the security and national security of the United States. I don't know very much if it's going to be exposed publicly. It could be exposed publicly to politicians or people in positions of power, but I'm not so confident elsewhere. Okay, so we're just going to give you your little reading and then we are done. Okay. So let's see. What is the reading for today? For some reason, I've been getting information to do with little reading for you guys. So if you're here to the end, this is a message for you. Okay, now take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, because this is a reading for everybody, which means it's not going to be 100% personalized specifically for you, but rather for everybody who's watching for that. So take what is resonating with you and just leave the rest behind for somebody else. Alright, so Spirit Angels, tell me, what do my viewers need to know right now? How many sections do we need? 3. Okay, I'm hearing 3 sections. Okay, and what does the first section need to know? Okay, the time you take this card for you. Aided by the next card. Is that right? This one? Okay, then what one? This is the third one. That's the third. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. What is the second section? How are people, what messages do the second group need to know? Okay, we have a lot of information for you guys. Okay, what's the last one? What's the third section? Just one card. Okay, so for a lot of you guys, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to choose the second section. For some of you guys, I kept feeling it for a lot of you actually. I want to extend my congratulations for some of you guys. Some of you guys are having a new baby. Some of you are either having a baby or a new member has joined the family. I do feel like there is a new baby that has come upon you, whether that is a dog, a puppy, a cat, or an actual baby. I do see three of those things in particular for you. I do feel like for some of you guys as well, you guys underwent and went to a funeral recently. I do see two of you guys, especially they have Italian background. They are trying to tell you that they hear you and they see you, and that they are ready and willing to go into the light, and they just want you to let go and to just tell you that it's all going to be okay. So for some of you guys, there's a new person being born. For some of you guys as well, it's a new animal, new member. And for those of you guys as well, there's somebody from who has recently passed away, who is somehow has an Italian background. They just want to let you know that they are okay and it's okay to let them go. We have your seek it and find it. I feel like for some of you guys, you are trying to find out who you are and your purpose. And the best way to do that, sometimes you need to go back to how you reacted to your family. I feel like some of you guys are meant to be registered nurses or to be some sort of caretaker. We do have here underneath the heavily signed here, we have new exercise programs. I feel like for some of you guys as well, this is a sign from you from your doctor that you have not been exercising and you very well should be exercising because it's good for your health and particularly for your mind. I feel like some of you guys, you struggle with mental illness or, well, not mental illness, but like anxiety in particular. I feel like taking a walk outside is what nature is telling you what you need to do. For some of you guys as well, it's an end of an era, an end of a period in time where your life and major changes are coming towards you. And so you just need to just hold on and relax and just allow it to unfold naturally. And for here as well is to be true to you, to stay to who you are as an individual. Let those around you be molded into who you are and who you represent. I feel like this is a very positive note for you. Yeah. I feel like for some of you guys as well who need to take a walk, I feel like some of you guys need to go into nature, particularly like a garden center or a national reserve or yeah, a national reserve would probably be your best bet. I'm also seeing a lot of flowers, so if there's a lot of flowers somewhere, I will go there because that's where you're going to find who you are and what your signs are and what you're meant to do in this life. We do have here for the first section, though, for some of you guys who picked the first section, realization and epiphanies. I feel like for some of you guys, you've been lacking in the ability to dream. You've been seeing a lot of darkness when you sleep and close your eyes. It is telling me that you need to be able to be in realignment with who you are in the messages and with your higher purpose. And the best way for you to do that is to start listening to meditation music and meditation sound to be able to be more in tune with your spiritual side and to be more in tune with nature. We do have here sobriety. I feel like for some of you guys as well, you might have just come out of what to call it, drug abuse or alcoholism. I feel like for some of you guys, you have had a past of fentanyl or even opioid. So, and I'm seeing particularly those issues with fentanyl. It had to do with the hospital. For some reason, there was some sort of connection there. So that might be for one of you or maybe a few of you. But particularly for opioid, it's definitely telling me that this has to do with an addiction that was developed inside the hospital. This is not a lot of you. This is a very small percentage of you. For the side here, those who chose the third section, this is support. I feel like what you need right now more than anything is people around you to be more supportive and loving and caring for who you are and what you best represent, because there's a lot for you going for you, but you also need to be more self-determined and be able to not be as reliant as those to support you. You just need to move forward ahead with or without their support, because as long as you have your own support, that's what matters the most. And we do have here gracefully Asian, right? It's saying here, don't be afraid to age. For some of you guys, these are the older folks. Don't be afraid to age. That's when you find your inner beauty. And then, what is the other messages that I need to know for support group for section 3? What is the final card for fortune? Okay. Planning. Now is the time to lay down the foundation for your future. Financial gains are more than likely. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not liable for whatever you do financially or anything outside of this YouTube video. I am getting that for some of you guys, you should consider taking a cruise or a vacation. I do see that. I think you need to have some sort of support, and the best way to support yourself is by giving yourself a break. So take what resonates, leave the rest behind. This is a reading for everybody. So let me know if it resonates in the comment section below. Thank you for supporting this channel. I love you and I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Until then, peace out.